Make some noise. Hadithi.
A woman who sought. So I was raised by two very young, vibrant, liberal parents where I guess I could describe them as combination parents. So they struggled to find their own identity. They were both born and bred in Soweto, first generation. I'm second generation, born and bred in Soweto. So when people ask you about home, it's literally 30 minutes around the corner, or 30-minute taxi drive, or you literally just walk and home is right here. So being a person who's been born and bred in Joburg, everybody around me, the friends I've made over the years, the people that I've met in my life have always had home. So where is home? Eastern Cape. Where is home? KwaZulu Natal. Where is home? Limpopo. You know, unfortunately we never had that luxury because home was just here. Now, given the fact that we never really had a home, we were Joburgers through and through. So from a roots perspective, we were quite diluted. So comes the challenge of having to identify with being a real Black African or South African individual who comes from home. And home bears a lot of connection to either ancestors or God, ancestors and God. So that has always been a struggle in my family. So my parents, on the one part, were never staunch. Reading the Bible, going to church was an option. However, to keep up appearances, I went to a Christian school. On school holidays, weekends, visit the grandparents, and the grandparents are like, oh, hell no, you are going to church. And when you get to church, you're going to tell us exactly what the pastor said, what hymns you sang. You're going to interpret the lesson of the day. So that's how it was, which created a little bit of a struggle. So fast forward some years later, I feel I'm a woman into my own. I'm in high school. I'm in a school that is multiracial, meeting different creeds of people from all over the country, even all over the world. Different opinions, different dialects, different beliefs. You start questioning where you come from. You start questioning your beliefs. You start questioning the lessons that you've learned in your life. You even start questioning things like, why was I told not to wear one shoe because my mother will die? Right. Anyway. High school, grade 8, our principal rallies us up. It's assembly. And I'm waiting for her to say, let us pray. We're going to sing a hymn. And she says to us, we're starting a new journey. We're going to do this differently. It's 1999. Everybody's transitioning. The country is transitioning. All of you are transitioning into womanhood. We're basically an all-girls school. And she says from here on out, they're no longer going to be hymns. They're no longer going to be prayers in assembly because we don't want to segregate. We don't want to cause, we don't want to insult anybody. We don't want to inflict or impose our beliefs, which was fantastic. So me going back home, going to my grandparents, I was basically a grown-ass woman. Nobody can tell me, you need to pray, you need to read the Bible, which was fantastic because I had a choice in the matter. I grow up, go to tertiary, I learn new things, I learn new sciences, I learn religions, I learn life. Life teaches me that, you know what, if I believe in myself, I have hope in the next day. The only faith I need is the faith for me to prosper in life, for me to get to point A, B, C, and D, all on my own steam. Fast forward the next couple of years, I meet a guy, and because we are women, not to generalize, but you tend to fall hard at times, and you tend to question these beliefs that you had strongly held. So I meet this guy who comes from a family that is very staunch in their beliefs. They believe in church, they believe in God, they believe in literally being initiated and going through a course in the church for you to earn the right to wear a particular uniform or sit in a particular section of the church. So that was very weird for me. I had parents who were like, what are we having this evening? No, let's braai. What are we having tomorrow? No, let's braai. Hey, let's braai every day. You know. Now I come into a family where there's all these rules and it's hard to adjust. But because I'm so in love, I'm like, you know what? This is uncharted territory for me. So let's go for it. It's an adventure. I'm up for it. I love this guy. Let's do this. So I start conditioning myself into, well, every once in a while, when I don't have a valid excuse, I will go to church. Every once in a while, when I don't have a valid excuse, I will open the Bible. Yes, I know Noah's Ark, so at least I've got one good story to tell. You know, so fantastic. We decide to get married, and it's wonderful. Then I start questioning where I want to be, where I see myself in this journey with this person. You know, I'm going through this journey with him, with his beliefs. I'm slowly but surely disappearing, or dissipating, if I could call it that, bit by bit, because I'm no longer myself, but I am a version of myself based on what I'm putting out. So what I'm putting out is, Mumama Sekaya, I want to be a homemaker. I want to be that lady that goes to church on Sunday, attends the meetings on Thursday, because this is a representation of this person that I've chose to build my life with. So the individual me is disappearing. But the individual me is not realizing that somehow through this journey I'm growing. But I'm very confused at the same time, because there are lessons that are supposed to be learned, but these lessons are open to interpretation. There's things that we do as a couple that are not aligning to the lessons that we're supposed to be getting from this book, the lessons of faith, the lessons of believing, the lessons in, I need to kneel down and pray and have faith that what I'm praying for, I will get answers for. Now, being a person born of two liberal individuals who make things happen now, praying does not necessarily make things happen now, if you've ever prayed in your life. So patience was never one of my virtues, which was a struggle. Now I'm in this marriage, and I'm literally following all the right steps. You know, get married, got a stable job, we've got fantastic medical aid, we've got our assets, we've got our investments, but there's this one thing that's missing according to the journey of life that we are following right now, and that's a child. So I conditioned myself that, you know what, I want a child. But after conditioning myself, I realized, no, this is not a condition. I want this child. I need this child. I have a love for children now. I have a hunger for children. So for years, at this particular point, it's 6 years. 6 years of actively trying. 6 years of Googling, 6 years of consulting, 6 years of talking to people who have got experience. So how do you do it? No, you must keep your eyes closed. You must open your eyes. No, the base position is that way or the other way. And we listen to all these things and we literally take them on. You know? So being intimate started being a mission. It was work. It was the journey of, we are at this stage in our life, so we have to have a child. We're not getting any younger. So good 6 years consulting doctors. Doctors tell me there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with him. Every once in a while you get a cyst or two, but the body recovers. But by golly, you have a perfect specimen of a womb. So if it's so special and so perfect, what is going on? What is wrong with me? Then begins the next leg of my journey. which proved to be the toughest journey of me questioning, of me seeking, of me having hope. 6 years goes by, no phantom pregnancies apart from me stuffing my face with pastries, no miscarriages, no false positives, nothing, absolutely nothing. Then the feeling of desperation starts creeping in, because I'm realizing that this is not just a journey that I want to embark on, it's something that I really, really want. I really, really want this. I want this child. So we start vigorously consulting doctors, we start considering our options, we start looking at our investments, we start looking at what do we have? What assets can we put into this? What can we dissolve? Because we need the money. I am prepared to get injections. Mind you, I have a fear for injections. Try and prick me now. I dare you. It's a problem. So one day, I wake up and I decide to turn to my better half and say, there's certain boundaries that I'm not prepared to cross. Because I have this longing, I have this fantasy, I want a big belly, I want my boobs to be engorged, I want to breastfeed somebody now. But because I cannot do that, can we not just rather consider the option of waiting while my womb decides whether it's going to bake or not? And in the meantime, adopt. We live in a country where orphans are as many as Joburg taxis. Kids are being abandoned left, right, and center. You know, people, little people who don't have a choice in the matter. So why not fill this gap, fill this void by taking on somebody who needs it? We've got the space, we've got the finances. I've got this gaping hole in my heart that needs to be fulfilled. So I talk my husband into it and we agree. We discuss it with the family. Our decision was not met with joy and elation. Instead, it was met with a lot of questions and a lot of judgment. Why would we do this? We don't do this in this family. We make our own babies. How do you go and get somebody else's baby? There's nieces and nephews. Take one of them and raise them, and when they're 18, give them back. You know? Yes, it was awesome. I enjoyed that conversation. So we decide we want what we want, and we're going to stick this one out. And we start seeking adoption options. So there's the private route, which is ridiculously expensive, as we discovered. Then there's the pro bono route, partially pro bono route, if I can put it that way. We consult child welfare. Give us some information. Got 2 young people who are seeking to fulfill somebody else's life, but mostly fulfill their lives as well. So we go through this rigorous process of testing. It's blood test after blood test. It's marriage counseling, it's individual counseling, it's psychological tests. And it's this process that was very lonely, if I can put it that way, because there's not a lot of people in our inner circles, outer circles, at work, at church, that you can relate to. So it's almost as if what we were doing was taboo. Plus, given the staunch family that I had inherited or decided to jump into, whichever way you want to look at it, this was just a no-no. Then at the time, I consulted and referred to my own family. And a common discussion or a common factor that came out was, Gugu, you need to talk to God. I'm like, guys, you're asking too much of me. Why is it too much? I don't know him. I really don't know him. I've heard of him, I've read about him, but I cannot really relate to him being in my life and him having done anything for me. So how do I just literally put my baggage on the floor and say, I give it all to you. Take the wheel, you know, take control. You, person, somewhere in the sky, around me, wherever you are. And that was the biggest challenge. And my mother said to me, just try. How do I try? I can't possibly kneel down. I don't understand it. I can't put my hands together. I don't understand it. There's not a song that I can relate to that I know. I just don't understand. And she said to me, just start having conversations as if you would, talking to yourself. So drive in the morning to work, speak to him. In the evening, while you're cooking, speak to him. So I was like, you know what, I've exhausted every option. It probably wouldn't hurt. So while I'm being poked and prodded, and DNA samples are being taken, and the FBI is on my back because they're doing background checks, they're checking the eye color of my family, cousins, what my parents' height is, what hair color they are, I'm getting excited because we're literally nearing the end of our journey. Now, the end of our journey means the last step is the home visit to assess that the little one that's coming through will have a safe, inclusive home because we vetted you, we satisfied that everything is fine. September 2015, it was a Wednesday. Child welfare is supposed to call me and tell me, at this time, we're going to be at your home. I take the day off, no phone call. I call social workers out of the office. Okay, give them a chance. Thursday comes, Friday comes, Monday, Tuesday. Ultimately, the following Friday comes and I'm stalking this poor social worker like, hey, dude, where's my baby? Where's my baby? Eventually, she answers and she says to me, can you come into the office so that we can meet? We go into the office and she tells us, your file is missing. Okay, fantastic. I want what I want. So I do not recognize negativity. I'm almost there. I want what I want. It's been 6 long years of nothing. I'm almost there. I want what I want. And she says, your file is missing. I'm like, okay, solution mode. Doctors have backup files. Social workers have files. There has to be a file somewhere. And she says, let's start with the doctor. I take it upon myself to visit the doctor's office. Doctor, I need my medical report. Doctor said we gave everything to child welfare. Now, I'm in the middle of a doctor's waiting room. It is packed. I get called in once again and they say, no, madam, we cannot find your file. We absolutely cannot find your file. We called through to social services, there's nothing there. In that moment, I broke down. In the middle of sick people who had flu, who had a bad day, who were looking for sick notes, and I broke down. All I could say that came out of my mouth was, where is my baby? I want my baby. Give me my child. You promised me my child. I've walked this journey and I've walked and I've walked. Where is my child? And for the first time, in front of many people, an audience if you would call it, I said his name. God, where is my child? Where is my child? And nobody could answer me. So I picked myself up and turned my back on my child because my child was not coming. Fast forward a month later, I realized that, you know what, I don't know, I'm stressed, I'm losing my hair, my body's a little bit out of shape. Now, I don't wear bras for support like most people. But something was very, very wrong. You know, my boobies were jiggling in the wrong direction and in the wrong way because they're supposed to be still because there were none to speak of. Little did I know that God decided that child welfare is going to lose my file to give me a chance to carry my own child. So on the 30th of December in 2015, I finally took the test that I've been dreading to take, and it gave me a positive telling me that I was 3 weeks plus. Yes. I consulted the doctor. The doctor says, no, dude, you're 8 weeks pregnant. I'm like, God, how could you let me cry in front of people when she was already there? You know? So I'm elated. I'm experiencing this joy. And my conversations with God get stronger and stronger. So I'm seeking and seeking and seeking and seeking, and I'm discovering every single day and getting stronger and stronger. And I'm learning to let go. Learning to let go of what I'm supposed to be doing, but rather live in the moment like my liberal parents taught me, but live in the moment knowing that He is there. He's always there. He's always been there. Then in 2016, on the 8th of August, I gave birth to a 3-kilogram baby girl who was very lazy to cry, extremely lazy. And the doctor asked me on the operating table, what is her name? As I was about to answer, he then says to me, I strongly suggest you name this child Inganiganina. Loosely translated, her mother's stubbornness. You know, so we giggle, we laugh it off. 3 months later, and this entire time, guys, I've been having my conversations with God and seeking Him, but I hadn't stepped foot inside a church or a temple. My mother then decides, it's literally the anniversary of her 3rd month being born, we are going to church. We go to church. On that particular day, it was very weird. The church was packed. It was an auditorium, like levels and levels of people worshiping and singing. It was very overwhelming. It's like, oh, this is how people do this kind of stuff. Interesting. Then the bishop says, I would like somebody who's got a strong testimony to come up here and share what God has done in your life. Without consultation, my tiny little mother grabs my big bundle of joy and she shoots to the stage. Now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is this woman going to say? So she then says, I just want to thank the Lord for this gorgeous, beautiful baby girl. She's my granddaughter. We've waited for her. We've been waiting for her. And the bishop says, where's this baby girl's mother? And then she points somewhere in the crowd, and the bishop says, if this child belongs to you, I would like for you to come on the stage. So in all my shyness, considering my relationship with God has never really been that public, it's been between me and Him, I get up treading, hoping not to trip. I get on stage, and the first question the bishop asks me was, what is your daughter's name? And I said to him, her name is Uarabile, which translates, he has answered. And then he says to me, say that again, Mama, louder. And I said, Uarabile. And he shouts and says, Mudimu Uarabile. And the church explodes in ululation and joy. I sought, I'm still seeking, but I've discovered, because Mudimu Uarabile, and he continues Ponkaraba every day. Thank you.